Well, yeah, but you can. She can't. So,
You know, the online registration did.
Merry blizzard on a leaf yesterday, and the bridesmaids all were
Yesterday, and the bridesmaids all wore green, green.
Blizzard, merry blizzard on a leaf yesterday, and the bridesmaids all wore brown, 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 brown. Oh well, anyway,
Nonetheless,
on a leaf yesterday, blizzard, merry blizzard,
merry blizzard, merry blizzard,
merry blizzard, merry blizzard, and it looked okay.
And what did we change that chant to? Love will prevail. Love will prevail. Love will prevail. Love will prevail. Guess what? Love prevailed. And what else did we say? That we were going to roll out of the Capitol, roll to every corner of the state, go from the lakes in the north to the prairies in the south, to the metropolitan cities and the suburban cities and every other city in Minnesota. And we were going to show ourselves for who we are, who our families are, that we're a gentle, loving people. We were going to open up our hearts, and in so doing, open up others' hearts and their minds. And guess what? We did that. We did that thing. And we proved that we are a gentle and loving people, but we're also tough and resilient and smart and hard-working. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you. And I'm here to say I love you. I love each and every one of you. I have never been more proud to be a Minnesotan. I've never been more proud to be a part of the Minnesota LGBT and allied community. We are at our finest in moments like this, and we proved it. We did this for ourselves and our families, but we also did this out of a sense of duty, of patriotism, because our democracy and our free society that we cherish so much was under threat. Freedom is worth fighting for. Yes. Turns out, what's good for us is good for everyone. That's the story of our country. Ever-expanding understanding of what freedom and fairness and opportunity really means. And slowly but surely, everyone gets to participate in that freedom. But Lord, it's not easy. It's hard work. Let's hear the words of Frederick Douglass echoing from decades past. Of course, we know power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. But he also said, those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are those who want crops without plowing up the ground. Our democracy makes great demands of its citizens. But we lived up to those demands. Yes. I just wanted to share a quick word of a thought about those who would oppose us. Monica was reminding me yesterday we started this fight 10 years ago, 2003, when my good friend and esteemed colleague Michelle Bachmann started this effort in the state legislature. After 10 long years, we've settled the question now. So I say to those who would oppose us, we invite you to step out of the shadows of misunderstanding and fear. Open up your hearts. See the truth so evident in the lives of good people all around you. Families like yours, built on love, living up to their responsibilities, playing by the rules, adding to our community. And I just want to say a quick word to my colleagues on the other side, especially those who know they did not live up to their own ideals. The time has come to have some courage and stand up for your constituents, citizens of your district who dream of a better future for themselves, their children, and their families. No more private crying in my office. This was an amazing campaign that cut across all political faith and other differences. But I do want to say to those political parties and those institutions that were major drivers of this amendment, please heed the call of history. Please know that you are on the wrong side of it. Young people, for that matter, all of us are crying out, and they showed by their vote yesterday to end the politics of division, efforts to tear us apart. And far be it for me to give my opponents political advice, but you know what? We're all in this together. We are. We're all in this together. So let's return to the old Minnesota. We had a tradition of fierce competition between ideas debate, and at the end, compromise and governance and statesmanship. Yes. And to those of us gathered here, continue to reach out in love the way you have done so powerfully to those who would oppose and deny us. We have just demonstrated the power of that love to make amazing change. Our work has just begun. I don't know exactly when we'll be pulling out that blank sheet of paper and drafting that bill that will finally make it possible for me and my husband Richard to be married here in Minnesota, but we get to roll out of this campaign and we get to roll out of this rally and have that conversation and get to work, because guess what? Minnesotans decided not to shut the door yesterday. They decided not to stop the conversation. So thank you to my amazing colleagues, the incredible staff and board of this amazing, stupendous campaign. And I have to say, personal thanks to Richard Carlbaum, who is so phenomenal. And through Richard Carlbaum, I thank, yes, Richard. And through Richard Carlbaum, that amazing leadership team he pulled together, I'm not going to name everyone, but he's responsible for having brought some of the most phenomenal political talent together. Every one of our national partners tells us so. And an incredible board that came together that represented that amazing, deep, broad coalition, because what unites us is so much more important than our differences, but especially Christine Almeida, our board chair, who was a phenomenon. Yes. And to the literally tens of thousands of Minnesotans and every one of you that spent so much money, thank you for all of your money. It hurt our budgets a lot, I know that, but it mattered. And took those risks and were so courageous and touched so many people and did those 250,000, 500,000 contacts, 400,000 doors, actually 900,000 contacts in the last few weeks. It's a phenomenal piece of work. But you know what was incredible? Driving around Minnesota and seeing these orange signs everywhere. What that meant to me as a married gay man, to see the larger community of Minnesota saying, you are a part of this family. You are a part of Minnesota. We have done something incredible. We have changed Minnesota. We are never, ever turning back. Each and every one of you is my hero. So let's celebrate, let's rally, let's be joyous, and tomorrow let's get to work. Thank you very much. This is my guy right here. And I have the amazing and incredible honor. I mean, it is an unbelievable honor to me to introduce to you Dr. Josie Johnson. Dr. Johnson is my constituent, and she has a long, long history and resume of fighting for justice, not the least of which she was a freedom rider in the South back in the 60s. She fought these fights, and guess what? She thought she settled them about 40 years ago. But you know what? She stepped up. She stepped up for our community. She stepped up for all of Minnesota. She was a major leader in that effort to defeat, and we defeated voter restriction, and we maintained the right of people to exercise freedom and the right to vote in their own democracy. And she stood with our community and helped us defeat this anti-marriage amendment. I give you the amazing legend, Dr. Josie Johnson.
Good evening. Thank you very, very much. I've been given given a strict number of seconds to be here, and so I want to honor that. It's wonderful to see you all gathering so close together. It's a wonderful thing. The weather has united us, and so it's lovely. I'm Josie Johnson, and I was a co-chair of our Vote No on the voter restriction amendment. And so I am honored to be here and so grateful to have an opportunity to share in something that is as important as it is to all of us. I'm an old woman. I'm 82, and I've been involved, my friends, in this struggle almost all of my life. So I have lived long enough, and didn't think I would, to see us elect a black president. And now I am able to say that I have lived long enough for us not to put a restriction in our amendments and in the Constitution of the state of Minnesota. And to me, that is so important. My fear was that this moment that was developing into such an ugly and hateful period would deny Dr. King's dream, which was to see his little children evaluated on the content of their spirit and soul and ability rather than on the color of their skin. And so the fact that we were able to defeat an effort to put into the Constitution of the state of Minnesota such mean-spirited amendments, in my judgment, offers hope. I urge us, however, to be very careful about the cherished position of support that we have for justice and equality. The fact that we experienced the fear of losing that guaranteed right to vote and to protect our rights beyond that should remind us how fragile our rights are. And we must not take for granted the freedom to vote and to be free to love. We worked hard and long. We were successful. And let's not, however, relax. Let's stay vigilant and determined to be the state that has and will always expand rights, not restrict rights. I'm so proud. I'm so proud and honored to have been involved in our effort to protect our right to vote. Our right that we, so many in this country, fought for and felt that it was indeed a right, not a privilege. And therefore, we felt the great joy that Minnesotans voted in this understanding as well. So we must, in my judgment, be careful, be mindful, protect all rights, not just those we personally cherish, but all rights. And and you know, sometimes I find it very hard to celebrate. I'm offering the suggestion that you celebrate this moment. Enjoy. Take advantage of a few moments. Because you deserve it. Thank you very much.
announce one more representative who came here, one of our wonderful leaders, Representative Erin Murphy from St. Paul.
All right, I'm going to talk on this microphone. Can y'all hear me? Yeah! Okay. So, my name is Siobhan Brewer. I'm the lead organizer at Alfred, Minnesota, and I'm a youth organizer with Minnesotans United for All Families. So today I've been tasked with the job to come up with... Okay, I hear you. I'm a little small, so I just want to make sure you can see me, okay? So, tonight I've been tasked with the job to pump up the crowd. Unfortunately, my voice is a little hoarse. So I would like to invite my friends and colleagues, my fellow organizers, to come up here and help me out. You know who you are. Come up here. These are my people right here. So we're gonna do 3 different cheers, but they're ones that you probably know because some of us are a little brain dead today, for better or for worse. So here we go. The first one is real easy. It goes like this: our people, united, will never be divided. 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 One more time. United, will never be divided. All right, that was a good job. So this next one, I'm going to ask you to kind of put some movement into it, because I think maybe some of you are a little cold, or maybe you're already dancing. I see a little bouncing out there. So this one's going to go like this. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. What? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. What? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. What? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. All right. And now this one's gonna take a lot of direction. And this one's a little tough. We're gonna just start. Actually, we're gonna do it together, and you'll just follow suit. Love, 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 love.
Hello, my name is Les Benson. I am a lifelong Minnesotan and a member of the Board of Directors of the Human Rights Campaign. On behalf of everybody at HRC in Washington, thank you for letting us speak tonight. But I want to tell one really quick story, and you'll say this is the shortest I've ever heard anybody from HRC speak, I swear. In 1990, about a dozen Twin Cities HRC volunteers were lobbying on Capitol Hill in Washington, and we were in this office of Senator Paul Wellstone. And Senator Wellstone said, you know, the fight for equality will be fought largely by LGBT people, but it will be given to LGBT people by straight people. And tonight, what he said at that time in his office is, we have to make this a bigger coalition. Bring in the straight people, bring in the people of faith, bring in the unions, make it more than just the LGBT activists and me. Boy, was he right. And I can only imagine what kind of a smile this coalition would have put on Senator Wellstone's face. So on behalf of the 60,000 members of the Human Rights Campaign in Minnesota and the thousands of HRC members nationwide who contributed to the fight in Minnesota, thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you for working hard. Thank you for donating until it hurt. And thank you for voting. And thank you for letting us in the Human Rights Campaign be part of it.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Rebecca Vocal, and I direct the faith work at the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. We at the Task Force are celebrating our 40th anniversary, and we have been here and we will be here with you going forward. I am also a Minnesotan and a minister in the United Church of Christ. And I have had the honor of being one of the founding board members of Minnesotans United for All Families. I stand here before you tonight with a mixture of jubilation, exhaustion, and glee. Thanks be to God. I want to begin with a short story. My partner and I have been talking with our daughter, who is 5, a lot about the elections. And she has been so nervous that the amendments would pass because she didn't want our family to be hurt and she didn't want people to be stopped from voting. But we have been trying to teach her that no matter what happens, you keep working and fighting for what you believe in. So yesterday morning, just after we had voted, she said to me, "You know, Mama, this is just one step in the road. If we win, we take this path forward. And if we lose, we'll take this path forward. But whatever happens, we'll take the next step forward." My friends, tonight we are taking this step forward. And I am deeply, deeply grateful. My gratitude comes from 2 things. For years, we have lived here in Minnesota and around the country under a false dichotomy. You were either a person of faith or you supported lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer communities. As one Jewish colleague puts it, we've been living under the myth that it's God versus gay. But we have shown here in Minnesota and in Maine and in Maryland and in Washington and in North Carolina that religious and spiritual people support LGBTQ people because of our faith and practice. Amen. And people of faith haven't been just talking the talk. We've been walking the walk. When this campaign was formed the day after the legislature passed this awful anti-marriage amendment, people of faith were there. And under the brilliant direction of faith director Pastor Grant Stevenson, we have been walking the walk. In March, at a Purim celebration, over 800 Jews gathered to be trained to work against the amendment. In April, hundreds of Catholics sang of their opposition to this amendment. Over the summer, 5 of the 6 Lutheran synods in Minnesota voted to oppose this amendment. In September, over 700 Unitarian Universalists worshiped in opposition. And last Thursday, over 1,000 Christians from every stripe gathered for an All Saints' Day worship. And perhaps, most importantly, literally thousands of Christians and Muslims, Jews and Unitarians, Buddhists and pagans, religious and spiritual people of every tradition have been listening to